returning to 10. This is Southern New England's news leader.
Breaking developments overnight. What we're learning about this, the identities of the two people police are blaming for a mass shooting in California outside of L.A.
As their investigation continues, Providence police have released some more images of a car believed to have been involved in a fatal hit and run, and they're suggesting how you can help find the driver.
And cameras capturing crime, why more homeowners are turning to technology to help protect their homes. We have those stories and much more at 6:30 on this Thursday, December 3rd, and it's a warmer Thursday for sure.
Oh yeah, salud. Welcome to a brand new day. You'll enjoy the relief from the, near freezing temperatures. Kelly Bates is here to talk about that. Molly O'Brien's here to talk about the traffic. So let's get the day all set up for our friends in the audience, gang.
Again with breaking news overnight into the shooting in California that has left at least 14 people dead now. Police officials have identified the two suspects as Saeed Farouk and Tashfeen Malik. Police are unsure of the nature of their relationship, but family members are saying the two were married. We turn now to NBC 10's Carrie Corrado's live in the studio. She's been tracking this story all morning, which occurred in San Bernardino. Carrie, what's the latest?
Allison, police did just release the names of the suspects, but they are still searching for a motive for this shooting. They say they have not ruled out terrorism. This is the first picture circulating of one of the suspects. It's blurry, but shows 28-year-old Saeed Farouk. Police say he was one of the two people responsible for the mass shooting in California. Alongside of him was Tashfeen Malik, and we are told Farouk was a county employee, and police say he attended the party at the Inland Regional Center where this all happened. He left angry and then later returned with Malik and started firing, both heavily equipped with assault rifles. The apparent couple took off after the shooting, their getaway vehicle, a black SUV. Now, there was a manhunt to find them, but the two suspects were eventually killed in a shootout with police. SWAT teams approached the vehicle very carefully, eventually cornering it on the road. And as for the total number of victims, 14 people are dead, 17 are injured. Of course, this is all subject to change. This was scanner audio as SWAT teams were searching for the two suspects in this horrific attack.
North 2, what's your exact location?
We are at San Bernardino and Shedden. San Bernardino and Shedden. We can see one guy down. There's one guy in the back of a car that was in that Bearcat.
I have no idea. I have no idea why would he do that. Why would he do something like this? I have absolutely no idea. I'm in shock myself.
That was the suspect's brother-in-law. Officials say based on what they know, there was some degree of planning involved in this horrific attack. Police used robots to search the house of the suspects. Reporting live, Carrie Corrado, NBC 10 News.
And NBC 10 is digging deeper into the numbers for you this morning. This is at least, it turns out, the third mass shooting since the rampage in Colorado Springs last Friday. The Washington Post publishing reports that this is now the 355th mass shooting this year, defined as incidents with 4 or more people, including the gunman, killed or injured by gunfire. The figure is more than in all of 2014. Rhode Island's Governor Gina Raimondo is speaking about this on the string of mass shootings here that have occurred in the United States. Yesterday, during our 5:30 newscast, Dan Janik asked the governor what could be done, what she thinks could be done to prevent these incidents.
We have clearly not found good solutions to keep guns out of the hands of people with mental illness, and that is absolutely has to be a focus of our efforts. Also, though, we do need to have common sense gun reform and make sure that guns don't get into the hands of criminals or folks with mental illness or people that are going to harm people with guns.
Another Democrat, Rhode Island Congressman David Cicilline, has called for a ban on assault weapons. He introduced legislation yesterday in Washington that, if it becomes law, would reauthorize the ban. Cicilline actually introduced the bill before the mass shooting in California. Cicilline says more than 12,000 Americans have died in gun-related incidents since the start of the year. There's more about this unfolding situation available for your inspection on turnto10.com, including the latest information on the victims' conditions, reaction from government officials. You'll also get to listen to the complete message from President Obama, if you like, all available on turnto10.com.
More breaking news to tell you about overnight. Oscar Pistorius will likely return to prison. The judge has issued his ruling of Pistorius' appeal. The judge in the case has overturned his manslaughter conviction and now says the former Olympian is guilty of murder. Sentencing will now be deferred to the trial court. Pistorius had been released from jail in October after serving 1 year of his 5-year sentence for killing his girlfriend back in 2013. Tracking developments this morning, Providence police are looking for help to find the driver of the vehicle that hit and killed a woman and injured her granddaughter. This right here is a photograph of the dark SUV which police are looking for. Witnesses are describing the vehicle as a newer model with hood and grille damage. A man is thought to have been driving that car at the time. Teresa Fernandez was crossing Broadway with her granddaughter on Sunday afternoon when she was hit and killed.
Cranston police are hoping that surveillance video might lead to an arrest. They're investigating a home break-in where the robber threw a brick through a window to get in. This incident is just one more recent example of the way security cameras are helping to solve crimes. NBC 10's Brian Crandall tells us why homeowners seem to be buying more and more of this kind of equipment.
Crimes caught on camera. Home cameras, like this case from Cranston, a home break-in. Police are now asking for help identifying the suspect. And several stories we've done recently on package pirates, stealing packages that have just been delivered, like this one in Pawtucket.
The thing with cameras, first and foremost, it's a deterrent.
David Pasha from local security firm SecurityRI.com says the increase in home cameras is due in large part to how much they cost.
And the prices have come down dramatically, so more and more people, they're looking at this sort of stuff to prevent any type of, a breach.
Some systems cost $200 or less. I'm Brian Crandall, NBC 10 News in Cranston.
Tracking today, a local gang member is expected in federal court to be sentenced on drug and gun charges. Antonio Fortes of Cranston was arrested in March following a police raid at his home. Police say that's when they discovered crack cocaine, heroin, and a .45 caliber handgun. Fortes is a member of the YNIC street gang. The U.S. District Attorney's Office says he's also facing charges in connection to a murder in Providence. He's facing murder and weapons charges now in the shooting death of Terry Robinson. Terry was killed in October of 2014, and investigators think his death was part of an ongoing feud between rival gangs.
A second suspect accused in the stabbing death of an Army veteran is expected to be arraigned later this month. Jose Rodriguez is charged in the death of Colby Mendonca. Yesterday, 18-year-old Erico Montalvo was arraigned on murder and assault with a dangerous weapon charges. He's accused of stabbing Mendonca in July. The victim was a young father and an Army veteran who served in Afghanistan. A Fall River man will serve up to 7 years in prison in connection with a shooting. Christopher Swindell pleaded guilty in March to several charges in the shooting of a 22-year-old man at the Maple Gardens housing complex in Fall River. The victim tried to calm Swindell after a fight with his girlfriend. Swindell will serve 3 years probation after his release.
New on Sunrise, a Massachusetts man is being held without bail pending a hearing tomorrow in connection to the stabbing of a high school football player. 19-year-old Osman Mersha of Everett, which is north of Boston, was arraigned yesterday for allegedly stabbing 16-year-old Marvin Fedna. Fedna was stabbed just hours after scoring the winning touchdown in a playoff game. Prosecutors are claiming the victim had tried to intervene during a fight between two groups of people. To Pawtucket now, where a police major is off the job, stepping down following questions about the hours in which he worked. Public Safety Director Antonio Pires tells the Hummel Report that Bruce Moreau retired on Monday. This comes after he was spotted doing personal activities back in 2014 when he was supposed to be on the job. Moreau denied the allegations at the time, claiming that his schedule allowed him to leave early or to arrive late. In February, state police elected, though, not to file any criminal charges, citing a lack of evidence.
Attleboro police may resume their investigation today of an accident that sent 2 men to the hospital. Happened around 8:30 last night on Slater Street. Fire officials told NBC 10 News the truck the men were traveling in rolled over and struck a rock wall. We're told their injuries were severe, but they were alert and conscious when they were transported to the hospital.
Next on Sunrise, coming up, preventing theft. More people have packages, right, delivered to their homes during the holiday season. But we're going to tell you what the experts are saying you can do to ensure you're not a victim.
In Tennessee, military officials are investigating after a helicopter crashed during a training mission. We'll learn a bit more from that story about who was on board. 51 degrees now outside of our Cranston studios, Kelly. Wow, that's kind of warm for this time of day, this time of year.
No question about it. In fact, we've already hit our high temperature for the day. We're going to see increasing wind, increasing sunshine, and decreasing temps for today. I'll have your forecast coming up.
NBC 10 News Sunrise continues now with weather and traffic every 10 minutes.
Well, good morning. We are finding clouds. We're also finding breaks in our cloud bank now that we're finally getting...
Quickly, a live look downtown Providence, making your way into their 610 connector at Dean Street. Allison, Frank?
Pawtucket police say they usually see an increase in reports of package theft during the holiday season, and it just doesn't happen in that city. Police all over the area report similar incidents. It's because more people have parcels shipped to their homes during the holiday season. This makes those deliveries easy targets. And NBC 10's Emily Voles spoke with experts on how you can keep your packages from being stolen.
The U.S. Postal Service is expecting a 10% increase in package deliveries this holiday, and unfortunately, that means more opportunity for thieves. Stealing mail can result in a 5-year prison sentence, but that's not enough to stop some people. So experts say don't leave them any bait.
Remove it from the mailbox or from its location as soon as possible. Some people might go in and forget that it's out there. The longer it's out there, the darker it gets, the more opportunity.
You can track the package online and head home when your gift arrives. Instruct your mail carrier where to leave it, maybe in your backyard out of plain sight. Require a signature. If no one's there, they'll take it back to the post office and you can pick it up there, or you can have it delivered somewhere else.
You could have it sent to your work where you might be during the day. You could have it sent to a relative or a friend or neighbor who you trust and is going to be home so that it's brought in right away. You can call the post office and have it put on hold and pick it up there at the post office.
That advice is from Christine Dugas at the post office, and that was Emily Voles reporting. And remember, the Postal Service will be making Sunday deliveries through the end of December. These delivery drivers are seasonal employees who don't have complete uniforms, so if you have any concerns or questions about them, just ask to see their badge. And for more information about how to protect yourself against package thieves, or maybe to take another look at those surveillance photos from Pawtucket, we invite you to log on to turn10.com, our website.
Tracking today, 16 new poker tables are expected to open at Twin River Casino, and that will bring about 80 new seats to the non-smoking section of the casino. Crews put in the tables in October, then dealers got trained on them. These are the first poker tables to be available on the non-smoking floor of the casino.
Cranston police continue to investigate a reported attempted abduction. A 12-year-old boy reported the incident on Tuesday. Yesterday, police increased patrols. Police say the boy was walking near the intersection of Aqueduct and Bridgeton Roads when a car pulled up and the driver inside asked if the boy wanted a ride. Well, the boy said he was able to run away, and he got on the school bus a few blocks from the scene. The suspect is described as an older man with gray hair and a mustache. The boy says the man was driving an older model red sedan. In Washington, the U.S. House has voted to scale back the government's role in education. The vote was 359 in favor, 64 against. New legislation, if it becomes law, would once again give states the power to make decisions over how to use students' test results for evaluating schools and teachers. The bill would stop efforts to encourage academic standards like Common Core. However, states will still be reviewed by federal officials if they have to intervene in the lowest performing schools.
New on Sunrise, investigators are now working to determine what caused a military helicopter to crash during a routine training mission. The helicopter from Fort Campbell crashed around 7 o'clock last night, killing the 2 pilots who were on board. Emergency crews say the crash site is at a river bottom and the copter was on fire when first responders arrived there on the scene. The identity of those killed have not been made public pending notification of next of kin. We're also tracking this today. A spacecraft carrying supplies to the International Space Station is set to launch this afternoon. The Cygnus spacecraft is scheduled for launch at 5:55 p.m. The craft will be carrying more than 7,000 pounds of science and research, crew supplies and vehicle hardware when it arrives at the International Space Station on Sunday. It will spend more than a month attached to the space station there before it's destroyed upon re-entry into the Earth's atmosphere, which is supposed to happen in January. Coming up here on the Sunrise Show, some of the stories we're tracking for you all day today, including this. The latest developments into the investigation of the shooting in San Bernardino, that's outside of L.A., what we know this morning about the suspects.
All right, it's Thursday morning, December 3rd. Time to summarize news, weather, and traffic, beginning with that awful incident over on the West Coast.
So we're going to head out to Carrie Corrado's live in the newsroom with the latest development she's been tracking into the San Bernardino shooting. Carrie?
Allison, police did just release the names of the suspects, but they're still searching for a motive for this shooting. They say they have not ruled out terrorism. This is the first picture circulating of one of the suspects. It's blurry, but shows 28-year-old Saeed Farouk. Police identified the second suspect as Tashfeen Malik. And the apparent couple stormed the Inland Regional Center where this all happened. They took off after the shooting, and their getaway vehicle was a black SUV, and there was a manhunt to find them. But the two suspects were eventually killed in a shootout with police. As for the total number of victims, 14 people are dead, 17 are injured. That is subject to change, and there was some degree of planning involved in this horrific attack, according to officials. Reporting live, Carrie Corrado, NBC 10 News.
Well, we are looking at changeable weather conditions for today. Where we have clouds right now, we're going to continue to move those out over the course of the morning hours. We're also going to see, in addition to increasing sunshine, increasing wind, and temperatures are going to be dropping off from this point. We'll be in the 40s for most of the day, and those temps will keep on falling. Tomorrow morning, we'll likely begin with lows near the freezing point, and it will be breezy at the same time. Molly?
And not the best commute out there so far. Looks pretty decent in downtown Providence over by the mall. But if you're traveling into Massachusetts, 95 northbound is a real mess this morning. An accident right at exit 7, Route 140. Another one popped up just before that, so you're looking at heavy traffic there, as well as 495 trying to get onto 95. Backup starts right around 295, slow there, and it looks like we have an accident reported just after 295, so you're looking at thick traffic. Do expect some pretty significant delays. Allison, Frank?
Providence police are looking for your help to find the driver of a vehicle that was involved in a fatal hit-and-run accident. They say it was likely a man behind the wheel of an SUV that hit and killed a woman and put her granddaughter in the hospital. Witnesses are describing the vehicle as a newer model with hood and grille damage. Teresa Fernandez was crossing Broadway with her granddaughter on Sunday afternoon when she was hit and killed. If you have any information that's relevant, you're urged to call Providence Police.
Investigators are trying to determine what caused a military helicopter to crash during a training mission. The helicopter from Fort Campbell crashed around 7 last night. The 2 pilots inside were killed. Emergency crews say the crash site is now at the bottom of a river and that the helicopter was on fire when the first responders arrived. The identity of those killed won't be made public until family members are notified. And that's it for our Thursday Sunrise edition. More of the day's news is coming your way in a moment on the Today Show. In the meantime, we hope you make the best of this day, and we'll see you again tomorrow morning right here.
Have a great day.